Guys, I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, let's talk about it here. Right now, I'm going to give my review of the movie Scoob. I realize it's been out a few weeks. I talked in a previous video about how I've been having trouble keeping up with my videos because I'm working on my master's degree. Trying to get caught up here. One of the movies I did want to talk about was Scoob. So let's talk about it. First of all, any chance to watch a Zac Efron movie, I'm totally on board. I'm such a weird dude, right? I think Zac Efron's hilarious. I think he's hilarious. Um, you know, Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Oh my gosh, I think that is such an underrated comedy. I love that movie. Really anything that Zac Efron... I mean, Baywatch. So many people crapped on Baywatch, and yeah, it was a bad movie. But I like Zac Efron in it, right? I like Zac Efron movies, so sue me. But really, I'm surprised that this was going to go to the theaters in the first place. It honestly had a direct-to-video feel to it. And I realize that most of Scooby-Doo movies do go direct-to-video. And this one, but those are usually traditionally animated. This one is computer animated, so maybe they felt that, you know, this one's computer animated, it has to go to theaters. It wasn't any better than the traditional animated ones. In fact, it was worse than most of them. The animation was very well done, but it really felt like an experimental type of storytelling, especially where Scooby-Doo is concerned. You know, there was really no mystery here in the traditional sense that we normally see Scooby-Doo movies. There was no antagonist that was pretending to be somebody else. This was more along the lines of a comic book movie, a superhero movie. This was a superhero movie with Scooby-Doo and the team, and some other Hanna-Barbera characters. That's what it was. This was not a traditional Scooby-Doo movie, not a traditional Scooby-Doo story. Therefore, I do think it was like an experimental form of storytelling that really should have been direct-to-video in the first place. You know, Scooby-Doo has had success with experimental storytelling. How many of you have read the Scooby Apocalypse comic book line? Really cool storylines in that comic. I think the comic itself was hit and miss, but the concept was phenomenal. So yeah, there's room for experimental storytelling in Scooby-Doo. This, I don't think, would have worked on the big screen. Again, I got it written here, underlined. It was a superhero story starring the Scooby-Doo gang. The movie starts out with another Scooby-Doo origin story. So it starts out with the gang getting together, and then we get a montage. And the montage, in my opinion, was the best part of the movie. The montage was going through the history of Scooby-Doo. And we get a lot of famous scenes from Scooby-Doo history in this montage, computer animated, updated graphics, whatnot. But we see a lot of famous scenes from Scooby-Doo history play out in this montage, kind of cementing it as this is canon with the rest of the Scooby-Doo stories. In this, though, there's not really a mystery. They go up against Dick Dastardly, who's an established Hanna-Barbera villain. And like I already said, the highlight was the opening montage, but there was also a really cool scene involving Captain Caveman, another Hanna-Barbera character, that was a lot of fun. It seems to me like they were really trying to establish a Hanna-Barbera shared universe. The problem with that, though, is that today's audience isn't very familiar with Hanna-Barbera characters. How many actually know who Captain Caveman was? How many actually know who the robotic dog? What was the robotics? Dynamite. How many people actually know who Dynamite is? You know, how many people actually know who the Blue Falcon is? These are established Hanna-Barbera characters, yeah, but who actually knows who they are? So, by the way, Blue Falcon did have a large role in this. Blue Falcon being voiced by Mark Wahlberg, and it just again drove home the idea that this was a superhero story. There was a funny gag that involved Simon Cowell that I thought was actually really funny, and they used it a few times. The movie had some nice moments, but overall, it really felt like a missed opportunity. This felt like it could have been something special, but then they thought to themselves, well, Avengers is really popular right now. Well, DC is doing their superhero thing. Why can't we do our superhero thing too? And Scooby-Doo doesn't exist in a superhero thing. They exist in a mystery thing, solving mysteries, whether it be traditional whodunits and the mask getting peeled off, or whether it actually be supernatural mysteries, but they're mysteries. That's where Scooby-Doo is best, and he wasn't at the gang was not at their best here. It was a missed opportunity, and I think that kids might have fun with this, but for the most part, I don't think this is a movie that anybody's going to remember. Some of you are probably asking why I'm even reviewing it a month out. Some of you might have already forgotten that it came out. it just very unforgettable movie. Unforgettable. A very forgettable movie. Overall, I'm going to give Scooby-Doo, or Scoob with exclamation point, I'm going to give Scoob a C. It wasn't a train wreck, wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was far from good. And that's where Scoob falls, is right in mediocrity. And that's too bad, because they had a lot of history and lore that they could have pulled from to really make an outstanding modern Scooby-Doo movie, and they failed. It wasn't a train wreck. It had its moments, but it should have been a lot better. What did you guys think of Scoob? Did you like it? Am I being too hard on it? Or am I giving it a free pass? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Thank you so much for joining me here at the LQ Review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and as always, I thank you. I thank you for taking this journey with me. Right here, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.